Hello dear students. So today I am going to discuss about some important terms. Already you have learnt these terms in your lower classes. So once again I am going to repeat these all things. So after completing this I am going to start the actual syllabus. So first of all, in our subject, so we are going to discuss about the things which are taking place around us. Generally, we know that so many phenomena taking place around us in our day-to-day life. Those all are familiar for us, but we don't know the reason behind that. Simply, for example, we can say sun appears reddish during sunrise and sunset. Everyone will enjoy that occasion, but we don't know what is the reason behind that. Sky appears blue in color. We walk on the surface. You are hearing my tone, my voice. So like this, there are so many phenomena which are taking place. So few are familiar for us, so we know the reason, but few more, so we don't know the reason behind those phenomena. Like this, in physics we are going to discuss about nature and the phenomena which are taking place in the nature, as I told you now. So physics is nothing but it is a branch of science. It deals with the study of nature and natural phenomena, the phenomena which are taking place in the nature. ಸೊ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತಲಿನ ಜಗತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ, ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತಲಿನ ಪರಿಸರದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಬದಲಾವಣೆಗಳು ಆಗ್ತವೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಥವಾ ಭೌತಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ನಡ ಮೀಡಿಯಮ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸು ನೀವು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆದಷ್ಟು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಿಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದನ್ನು ಕಲಿಬೇಕು. ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಕಲಿತೀರೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಹಿಡಿತದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನೀವು ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಡಿಕ್ಷನರಿ ಅಂತ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಡಿಕ್ಷನರಿದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅದರದ್ದು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅರ್ಥ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ನ ಕಲಿಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಭಾಳ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So in physics we are going to discuss about nature and natural phenomena. It is the branch of science it deals with the study of nature and natural phenomenon. And while discussing various aspects in our subject, again and again we are going to use the term physical quantity. So this physical quantity is proportional to this physical quantity. So one physical quantity is inversely proportional to another physical quantity, like that. Now what is the meaning of this physical quantity? A physical quantity is nothing but any measurable thing. ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮೆಜರ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಕೆಪಬಲ್ ಟು ಮೆಜರ್, ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ಡ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಅ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್, ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ, ಮಾಸ್, weight, time, temperature, because here we are going to measure these all things. Therefore, so these all are considered to be a physical quantities. The measurable thing, physical quantity, any measurable thing is known as physical quantity. ಥಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದರೆ ವಸ್ತು ಅಂತ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತುನ ನಾವು ಮೆಜರ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಯು ನೋ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ we can categorize this physical quantity into two cases. First one is scalar quantity and the second one is vector quantity. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಕೇಲಾರ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಅ ದಿಶಾ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, ವೆಕ್ಟಾರ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಸ ದಿಶಾ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ದಿಶಾ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್. So there are two types in physical quantities. Those are nothing but scalar quantity and vector quantity. So what is the meaning of this scalar quantity? The physical quantity which is said to be scalar when it has only magnitude but not direction. ಇದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತು ಪರಿಮಾಣವನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತೋ, ದಿಕ್ಕನ್ನು ಹೊರತುಪಡಿಸಿ ಪರಿಮಾಣವನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತೋ ಆ ವಸ್ತುವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅದಿಶಾ ಎಂದು ಕರೆಯುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಅದಿಶಾ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲಾರ್, ದಿಕ್ಕು ಇರಲಾರದ್ದು ಅಂತ. ದಿಶಾ, ಅದಿಶಾ ಅಂತ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಪದಗಳು, ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಸೊ scalars and vectors. Let us see. So what are the scalar quantities and what are the vector quantities? Physical quantity. Types of physical quantity. First one is scalar. Scalar physical quantity. the physical quantity which has only magnitude. But not direction. So that is known as scalar quantity. It has only magnitude but not direction. Now what is the meaning of this statement? It has only magnitude but not direction. So let us consider the examples. Mass, distance, speed, temperature, work, time, etc. So these are the few examples for scalar quantities. See here, the physical quantity which has only magnitude. For example, let us consider this mass. On what basis we are going to say mass has a scalar quantity? So this term is well familiar for us. Every day we are going to use these terms. You just think yourself. So when you are going to buy a sugar in a kirani shop, you will not say, please give me 1 kg sugar in east direction. You cannot say, please give me 1 kg sugar in a south direction, in a north direction, like this. Because in these all directions, that 1 kg remains same. That means this quantity doesn't depend on direction. There is no need of direction. In all the direction, this quantity remains same. For this reason, this quantity is known as scalar quantity. Similarly, we can explain these all things. Distance, speed, temperature. What is the temperature? So at this point 30 degrees Celsius, there 35, there 40, there 50, there 60, there 70. You will not say like this. Temperature of the Raichur district 34 degrees Celsius. We cannot say only in the east direction in Raichur temperature is 34 degrees Celsius. We cannot say only in the south direction temperature of Raichur district is 34 degrees Celsius. Because here in all the direction this temperature remains same. In different places the temperature is different, that is different. And similarly work. ನೋಡಿ, ಇವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ವರ್ಕ್. ಸೊ ವರ್ಕ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸ್ಕೇಲಾರ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ. ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಬಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್. ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ನೀವು ಅಪ್ಪಿ ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತು ಪೂರ್ವ ದಿಕ್ಕಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ದಕ್ಷಿಣ ದಿಕ್ಕಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಯಾರೂ ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ ನೀವು. I have done this amount of work in south direction, I have done this amount of work in east direction. Nobody will say like this, because you can do the same work in all the direction. Again, here there is no need of direction. You know that SI unit of work, that is joules. So it has only magnitude but not direction. Similarly, time. If anybody asks what is the time now? Now time is in east direction 3 o'clock, in south direction 3:30, in north direction 4 o'clock. We cannot say like this. So again, this quantity doesn't depend on direction. That means these all are quantities depends on only magnitude but not direction. So what is the meaning of this magnitude? Now I am going to buy 1 kg sugar. That 1 is nothing but magnitude. I am going to buy 2 kg sugar. 2 is nothing but magnitude. Temperature is 34 degrees Celsius. That 34 is nothing but magnitude. 3 o'clock, that 3 is nothing but magnitude. Speed 20 meter per second, that 20 is nothing but magnitude. So here magnitude represents number, that is quantity. ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಇದು ರೀಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅಂಥ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟೀಸ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಸ್ಕೇಲಾರ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟೀಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ವೆಕ್ಟಾರ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟೀಸ್. Vector quantity, the physical quantity which has both magnitude and direction is known as vector quantity. It has both magnitude and direction. So examples: weight, velocity, acceleration, momentum, etc. So these are known as vector quantities. ನೋಡಿ ಕನ್ನಡ ಮೀಡಿಯಮ್ದವ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಭಯ ಪಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಈ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ನೀವು ಡಿಕ್ಷನರಿದಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಸು ಅಂದರೆ ದ್ರವ್ಯರಾಶಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸು ದೂರ, ಸ್ಪೀಡು ವೇಗ, ಟೆಂಪ್ರೇಚರು ಉಷ್ಣತೆ, ವರ್ಕು ಕೆಲಸ, ಟೈಮು ಸಮಯ ಅಥವಾ ಕಾಲ. ಸೊ ಹೀಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಿಮಗೆಷ್ಟು ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಅಷ್ಟನ್ನು ಆದಷ್ಟು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಿಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದಿನದಲ್ಲೇ ನೀವೇನಾಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. So here weight, velocity, acceleration and momentum are known as vector quantities. Especially if I am going to ask the question in our regular class, what is the difference between mass and weight? Most of the students will say both are same. Actually mass is different, weight is different. Mass remains constant throughout the universe, but not weight. Weight, it depends on acceleration due to gravity. You know that weight, it is represented in terms of product of quantity of matter and acceleration due to gravity. The quantity of matter contained in a body is nothing but mass. The product of these two quantities that gives rise to weight. So in general we are going to write weight is equal to W is equal to M into G. So actually this is the formula for force. So here weight is nothing but force, that is downward force. ತೂಕ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಥರ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ಗ್ರಾವಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಅರ್ತ್. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಎಮ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್. G is nothing but acceleration due to gravity. So here this G varies with respect to distance. We know that value of this G on the earth surface. So this is equal to 9.8 meter per second square. See here, meter per second square, because acceleration. So we know that SI unit of acceleration is meter per second square. In upcoming classes, in the chapter, name of that chapter is gravitation, you are going to discuss about this concept. As we move above the earth surface, acceleration due to gravity decreases. As we move below the earth surface, acceleration due to gravity decreases. With respect to change in acceleration due to gravity, there is a change in weight of the object. Therefore it depends on acceleration due to gravity. And hence mass is different, weight is different. Mass is nothing but the quantity of matter, quantity of matter contained in a body. If suppose this chalk piece, now I am going to say mass of this chalk piece is 5 grams. Mass of this chalk piece is 5 grams. We can say this chalk piece is made up of 1000 particles. That means here 1000 particles is proportional to 5 grams, because mass of this chalk piece is 5 grams. Quantity of matter is nothing but the number of particles present in the object. So it is made up of 1000 particles. So this is known as mass. And we know that SI unit of mass is kg and SI unit of weight is Newton, that is kg meter per second square, or it is also known as Newton. Most of the students will say SI unit of mass is Newton. No? If so, you will not say please give me 1 Newton sugar, please give me 2 Newton sugar in Kirani shop. That means mass is measured in terms of kg, not in terms of Newton. So every year I am going to ask this question, student will answer like this only. Therefore, basically mass is different, weight is different. And next one is speed and velocity. I think distance, you are all familiar about this distance. For example, now I am going to consider 2 points. Let us say A and B. Distance between A and B is equal to 5 centimeter. Distance between A and B is equal to 5 centimeter. This 5 is nothing but magnitude. So this is the actual path between these two particles. So let us consider another direction for this particle, that is to reach this particle from this particle. This is another way, this is another way, this one is another way. Along this path, let us say 8 centimeter. Along this path 6 centimeter. Along this path 10 centimeter. So here distance is nothing but actual path between the particles. So we can reach particle B either from this direction, either from this direction, either from this direction. That means to reach this particle, there is no need of particular direction. We can reach in any way. Therefore, distance is nothing but a scalar quantity. For example, time to travel along this path is equal to 8 seconds. Along this path 5 seconds. Along this path 6 seconds. Along this path 10 seconds. Now I don't have this much of time. As much as possible I have to reach this point from A. Then I am going to choose shortest path. This shortest path takes place only in a particular direction. Takes place only in the particular direction. Among these 4 ways, this is the shortest path between A and B. Therefore, this is nothing but displacement of the object. So between these two objects, so this is nothing but displacement. This is nothing but one distance, another distance, another distance. In any way we can reach this particle. Therefore, the shortest path between two particles is nothing but displacement. In order to say shortest path, we have to use the term direction. That shortest path takes place only in the particular direction, and that shortest path also has magnitude. Here that magnitude is nothing but 5. Direction left to right. Therefore, displacement is vector quantity. AB 5 centimeter along this direction is nothing but displacement. Distance. So distance has only magnitude but not direction. And similarly speed and acceleration. So speed and velocity. I hope you will understand the difference between distance and displacement. Distance, actual path. Displacement, shortest path between two particles. Shortest path, it takes place only in a particular direction, and hence this shortest path in a particular direction is considered as vector quantity, that is displacement. Similarly, we can categorize speed and velocity. So speed is nothing but distance traveled divided by time taken. Already you are familiar about these all definitions. Here speed depends on distance. So distance is a scalar quantity, therefore speed is also scalar quantity. Time is also scalar quantity. And velocity is nothing but displacement divided by time taken. So displacement that depends upon both magnitude as well as the direction, and hence velocity is also a vector quantity. Acceleration, this is also vector quantity. The rate of change of velocity is nothing but acceleration. Here velocity is a vector quantity. It has both magnitude as well as direction. Momentum. Momentum is nothing but quantity of motion contained in a body. In general, mathematically we are going to represent this momentum, that is P is equal to m into v. So product of mass into velocity, that gives momentum, quantity of motion. So you already discussed these all things in your lower classes. Again you are going to approach these terms. In detail in PUC first year, because after completing your science course, you are going to face different competitive examinations. During that instant, you should have the knowledge of each and every terms in the subject. So here, for example, we can say mass. Already I told to you people, mass is nothing but quantity of matter contained in a body. Quantity that depends upon number of particles. So we know that each particle made up of large number of atoms, and in turn atom is made up of large number of elementary particles like electrons, protons, neutrons. So like this, broadly we are going to discuss the concepts in this course. and temperature, hotness or coldness of a body, work, that is nothing but change in position of the object in the direction of applied force. Time, we are all familiar about these all terms. So here in physics we are going to discuss various types. So in first PUC, after completing physical world, that is first chapter, so you are going to learn about motion of a body in a straight line and motion of a body in a plane. So before going to discuss about those chapters, at first you should know the basic terms in physics. So especially we are going to discuss these all things, that is a change in position of the body, body is at rest, change in position of the body in the direction of force, momentum of an object, velocity of an object, speed of an object, acceleration of an object. These are all things in case of mechanics. Because for a change in position there is a need of force. Without force there is no change in position of the object. The branch which deals with the study of the body is at rest or in motion with a reference to the force acting on it is known as mechanics. Especially we are going to discuss these all things under mechanics. Mechanics, so it deals with the study of body is at a rest or in motion with a reference to the force acting on it. So especially we are going to discuss this thing in case of this branch, mechanics. So mechanics further divided into two sub branches. First one, statics. The name itself indicates static. Static means rest. So statics is nothing but it is a branch of mechanics. It deals with the study of body is at rest. ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅಥವಾ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ವೋ, that is secondary. But under this case we are going to discuss the body is at rest. It deals with the study of body is at rest. And the second one is dynamics. So it is a branch of mechanics. It deals with the study of body is in motion. So that is under dynamics. Again, this dynamics is divided into two branches. First one, kinematics. Kinematics, it is a branch of dynamics. It deals with the study of motion of an object or description of an object without considering effect of force on the object. That is in case of kinematics. That means in kinematics we are going to discuss about description of motion, whether that motion is linear motion, non-linear motion, like that. Description of motion. So without considering the cause for that. So description of motion without considering cause for that, that is in case of kinematics. And next, kinetics, another branch of dynamics. Kinetics. So it is a branch of dynamics. It deals with the study of motion of an object. By considering cause for it. ಸೊ ಯಾವ ಕಾರಣದಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ kinetics. So these are the basic branches in physics. So what we are going to discuss in these branches, I have explained in brief. So while starting the chapters, you are going to discuss about these things in detail with mathematical formulae. Okay? So in next class, I am going to discuss few more concepts, so which are related to your first PUC syllabus.